A number of problems have emerged with the application process for the 2013 Foundation Programme. I'm going to be talking about this issue with William Seligman, who's the co-chair of the BMA's Medical Student Committee. Will, I think many medical students will already know that there have been problems this year with the application process to the 2013 Foundation Programme. Can you tell us what happened at the end of February about this issue?
So on the 25th of February, all final year medical students were informed by the UKFPO of the job allocations they'd been given for their first 2 years as a doctor in training. This was based on a national multiple choice examination that these candidates sat for the first time this year, as well as their performance at medical school. The following day, however, the UKFPO informed all candidates that actually there had been some errors in the marking of this national multiple choice examination called the Situational Judgment Test, SJT, and that there were some concerns over the validity of the job allocations as a result. We now know, and all candidates now know, that there's so little confidence remaining in the application process and in the marking of the scripts that actually all 7,500 scripts will have to be remarked manually by the medical schools. This is now taking place, and students will find out on the 8th of March at 9 AM where they've actually been allocated for their first 2 years in training as a doctor.
And what did the BMA do when it heard about this problem?
The BMA was in touch with the UK Foundation Programme Office as soon as we found out about the problem, and we've been telling them from the very beginning this is completely unacceptable for students. We also have been raising the point that students need to find out as soon as possible where they'll be going to live and to work actually as well for their first 2 years, starting in August. We've issued a formal letter to the UKFPO outlining our concerns and calling for an independent formal inquiry into what's happened to ensure this does not happen again in the future. We've also asked them to make it clear to students when they will find out where they will be going for their first 2 years, and we've also asked them to support students in dealing with any inquiries that they do have.
And I believe the BMA has also called for any students who may have lost out financially to be compensated for any losses that they might suffer. Is that right?
Exactly, because actually some students acted very quickly on the information they'd been given by the UKFPO and in good faith might have signed on a house or a flat share, and actually it's really not fair that these students shouldn't lose out financially because of the UKFPO's error in the marking of these scripts. So we have asked the UKFPO to commit to reimbursing students should they have lost out financially because of their errors.
So what happens next?
So as I mentioned, on the 8th of March at 9 AM, all students will be able to log on to the Foundation Programme application system again to find out where they've been allocated for their job. In the meantime, we'll be monitoring the situation closely and communicating with the UKFPO and with students to make sure that information is shared appropriately. I'd encourage all students who are particularly concerned to contact their medical schools or the UKFPO if they have any particular concerns. Finally, keep up to date with what's going on the BMA website, as we'll be posting any information we have on there.
You can find more information about this issue on the BMA website at this web address. You can also stay up to date with what is happening by following us on Twitter and looking at the BMA's Facebook page.